Hi traders, this is David from Apex Alpha Wave Trader. In this video, I want to show you guys how I organize my thoughts and find trades every single trading day. Okay, so I'm using the MT4 platform, and one or two steps that I'm going to show you at the beginning. If you are not using the MT4 platform, or if you are using your tablet or a handheld device like a phone, you may not be able to do this first step, but at least if you understand the philosophy and you get access to your laptop and you're using the MT4 platform, you should be able to do this. Okay, so essentially, when I analyze the currency pairs, there are 28 of them, and to analyze all of them one by one can be tedious, can be tiring. Okay, but if you do what I do and you are looking for setups so that you can put up for people to be able to trade, then you have no choice but to go through these pairs. But I have found a way to be able to do this so that it's not as stressful for me as before. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I find trades, and once you get used to this process, it organizes your thoughts. It helps to keep your emotions in check, and you're able to make more informed decisions. Okay, so first things first, when you come to the markets and you want to find a trade, don't carry the mindset that today I'm going to trade shorts, today I'm going to trade longs. It's true that sometimes some people are more predisposed to either being short traders or bullish, but I think that you should allow the market to decide for you what you are going to do for each trading time. Okay, so you may be a day trader, you may be a position trader, you may even be a scalper, but I believe that this approach will still help you nonetheless. So let's get into this. So the first thing you need to do is to create profiles for the currency pairs. Right now, this is a default profile. So you can see here, if I click this button here, you can see here that I have profiles. I have Aussie, dollar, euro, kiwi. Now, this means that all the pairs that are related to the Aussie, that have the Aussie in them, they are all here. All the pairs that have the dollar paired to them, they are here. All the pairs that have the euro, so on and so forth. Okay, now if you want to create a profile, you go to your file here, you go to profiles. Okay, and you can see here we have next, previous, save as, remove. So whatever profile you are on, okay, all you have to do is arrange it the way you want to arrange it. It says go to save as, and you can now put in the name of your profile. So it's relatively easy. For instance, now I'm on the euro gbp. Okay, so if I wanted to make the euro gbp as my profile, I just go to file, profile, save as, and then I can just say euro gbp or whatever name I choose. Okay, but that's not what I really wanted to show you guys. What I wanted to show you is how I find trades. So let's get into this. So now, right now, this is default template. At a glance, I need to look at these pairs to see how they are acting up, okay, or how they are setting up, sorry. But the first thing I like to do in my own case is I like to look at the dollar index. Now, you can look at it on its own, or you can look at it in relation to the other pairs. I do both, but for the sake of example here, I'm just going to show you. So this is the dollar index here. You can see I can't trade it on my platform right now. So now this is a dollar index. I'm on the monthly time frame. So I try to see what the dollar index is saying, because if you have an idea of what the dollar index is saying, almost all the pairs become very easy for you to trade. Okay, because they are all connected to the dollar one way or the other. All right, for instance, now if you look at the dollar index and it's going up, you know that the euro will be going down because the euro is paired with the dollar, right? So if the euro is going down and you were to look at all the euro pairs, you will have a very good idea what is happening. So the dollar pair is fantastic to help you analyze pairs at a glance. Okay, so first thing you do is you come to the dollar index like so. And if you don't have the dollar index among your pairs, it's not a problem. You can go ahead and just analyze, but I have it, so I'm just going to analyze it. So I come here, I look at what the dollar index is telling me, And then based on my analysis here, I can now decide which currency pair to really pay attention to. Now, I'm not going to analyze here for trade right now. I'm just giving you an example. So I come to the dollar index, I have a look from the monthly, I go down to the weekly, okay. I still have a look, I see what's happening, I determine things here, I put my support and resistance lines here. I go to the daily time frame of the dollar index, I have a look here again, okay. I determine what's happening here again, probably go to the 4-hour chart, and then I begin to determine my bias for the day. So from the 4-hour chart, I'm going to decide if I'm going to consider the dollar bullish or bearish, okay. And then I look at the patterns that are forming. You look for things like wave bottoms, wave tops, divergence situations, double bottoms, and such like, okay. So once you finish with your dollar index, then you can begin to look at your profiles. So the first profile I have here is the Aussie. So let's just switch to the Aussie and have a look. And you can see I've put all the pairs that are connected with the Aussie. We have the AUD NZD here, AUD USD here, Euro AUD, okay, EUR AUD, AUD CAD, AUD CHF, AUD JPY, GBP AUD, and then I put the dollar index here, okay, just to balance out the charts, because if there are 7 of them, then the charts will not be arranged in an aesthetic way, okay. But at the same time, this helps you to have an idea. Now I have put all the charts to the daily time frame. Now that doesn't mean you must leave it on the daily time frame. You can put it to the monthly, weekly, whatever you wish. But since I make my intraday and swing trading decisions from the daily chart most of the time, this is what I do. So when you come to your profile like this, at a glance you can see what's happening. Some of the pairs are trending upward, some are trending downward, right? Like this is trending downward, okay, but all the other pairs, okay, this is trending downward as well. And this is these 2 pairs, the GBP AUD, Euro AUD, you observe that the AUD is the second or the secondary pair, okay. So you can see that they are all trending downward. But if you look at all the other pairs that have the AUD as the major pair, you can see that they are all trending upward. So this gives you a bird's eye view instantly of what is happening with this currency pair. Now look at the dollar index here. I'm just going to make this one bigger to show you. So this is the dollar index, right? And you can see that right now we seem to be halting at a level of support. So whether the price will break it or not is not what we are discussing here. But now that it's halting at an area of support, pretending it's going to go back up. So if this is going to go back up, that means that we are thinking of bullish situations in our head right now, right? So that means that if I were to look at the AUD USD now, I will be thinking of selling situations. And you can see that this, because this correlates to the dollar in some way, this has the dollar as a secondary pair. You can see that while the dollar index seems to be halting at a level of support, here we have the AUD halting at an area of resistance. And you can see that it looks like we're having a slight rally here, okay. So this is how you use these profiles to find trades very quickly. All right, so now let me switch to the other profile here. Let's go to the dollar profile now. And so this profile has all the dollar pairs. You can see here USD CHF, GBP USD, USD JPY, Euro USD, USD CAD, AUD USD, which we just saw, but it's here because it's a dollar pair, NZD USD, XAU USD, okay. So there's one more pair I really should have put here, which is the USD Mexican, okay, but I did not want to make the charts too many on this page, so I did not put it here. All right, but you get the idea now. So the dollar index is not here, but we saw in the previous profile that the dollar index was halting at an area of support, just like so. And you can see that because this has the US dollar in front of it, the USD card, you can see that it's mirroring exactly what the dollar index is doing. And now for the New Zealand USD, you can see here we are halting at a level of resistance because the dollar seems to be halting at a level of support, okay. Gold more or less is doing the same thing, but it's not as correlated sharply as the others. You can see here AUD USD, you can see here Euro USD, we seem to be halting at a level of resistance, just like we're halting at a level of support on the dollar. All right, so you see here that by creating these profiles, you have a very beautiful idea of what the market is going to do. All right, so let's go to the next one. So let's go to the euro pairs now. And on the euro pairs, we have the euro GBP here, we have the euro USD here, we have the euro AUD here, we have the euro CHF here. Okay, we have the euro JPY here, we have the euro NZD here, euro CAD, and then the dollar index. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you guys how, by creating these profiles and putting all the pairs that are related to each other together, you can see how easy it is for you to determine what's happening. Okay, at a glance, you're able to tell, okay, so this is what's going on these pairs, and then you look at this. Okay, and based on your own trading decisions, you look at this and you can choose a pair that you want to trade. For instance, this is the euro JPY. All right, so if I decide to have a look at the euro JPY, first things you want to notice is you can see that price seems to be halting at a level of it was support. It's not been support, it's been resistance here, here, and now it seems to be acting as resistance again. Okay, we had a wave bottom situation here. So if this is the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and then possibly fifth wave, or it's possible that this is an extended wave, because usually the third wave can be extended. So it's possible we are in an extension right now, but the point is, right now here you can observe that we seem to be halting at this level of resistance. So you look at a situation like this. Now this is a strongly bullish trend right now. EMAs are crossed, going up strongly. MACD is giving us a golden cross going. So you thinking of shorting right now might be risky in the long term, but on the short term you might decide to go to the 4-hour chart and look at this chart, and you can see here, because we have railway tracks at this level of resistance, you might think of taking a short trade. It's going to be a counter trend, but at least from where we are probably to maybe here, you might be able to get something out of this. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you how you can find trades, and you can see here we have a negative divergence. Okay, then we had a wave top. Is this a wave top? I don't think so, because this looks to be higher than this, but you can see here that we are going to get a slight dip. How far this is going to go, most likely it might get down to this level here, which is not much, about 27 pips. But if you were thinking of taking this trade, then this is how you may want to do it. Okay, so this is just an example of how you can use these profiles to look for actionable trades. Let's quickly look at the other pairs now. Let's look at the Kiwi. The Kiwi is the New Zealand. Okay, so here we have all the pairs that are paired to the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so you can see it here. So we have the AUD NZD here, we have the NZD USD, NZD CHF, Euro New Zealand, New Zealand JPY, New Zealand CAD here, GBP NZD, and the dollar index there, just to balance out the chart. Okay, so this is how you arrange your profile. So for me, when I want to trade, this is what I do. At a glance, I have a look at all these pairs like this. I look for levels of support and resistance, and then I begin to look for things that have to do with my trading system, like the tops and the bottoms, okay, and the divergence situations. And this is how I find trades very quickly. So if you organize your trading like this, you will realize how easy it is for you to find trades. You don't have to sweat it out. In less than 30 minutes, you've looked at all 28 or 27 currency pairs. You know what you are looking for, you've decided on what to do, and you can quickly place your trade. Okay, so this is just a quick video just to show you guys how I look for trades and how you can do the same as well. Now let's just pretend you are not using your laptop. Okay, let's pretend you are not using your laptop to trade. Let me show you how you can do yours. Let's go to the defaults here. So if you are not using your laptop to trade, let's say you are using your tablet, or you are using another trading platform that doesn't allow you to set up profiles, or you are using your phone, my recommendation to you is if you have the dollar index among your pairs, that's the first thing you should check out. Okay, so right now this is the dollar index. Remember, when you're on the dollar index, now there are no indicators here apart from this. So maybe I'll just put the indicators just to show you guys how I do it. All right, so the indicators are back. All right, so the first thing you do is have a look at the chart. If you are good at counting waves, count the waves and have a look and determine what's happening on the monthly chart. Okay, just have a bird's eye view. Right now, this is where the market is. Okay, so the most current candle looks like it looks like a spinning top. Okay, so you know that something is happening here that has to do with indecision, and we are at a level of or an area of resistance right now. So you go to the weekly chart and then you have a look. Okay, and when you come to the weekly chart, I recommend that if you can, you should draw lines along the most salient levels of support and resistance like this, just so you have an idea of what's happening for the week. All right, so and then you have a look at your indicators. Now we seem to have a cross happening here, so most likely we might get a fall in price. We don't know that yet because this is an area of support. So going to the daily chart, you can see what's happening here. We are still in this range bound market. Okay, I thought that this was going to actually break the range, but we happen to be in the range as well. And now on the daily time frame, you begin to make your decisions about what you think is happening. You can see we have spinning top here, and then we have what is still forming up, so we don't know what this candle will turn out to be, but MACD is quiet along the waterline. Okay, it's not giving us any sign right now. The EMAs are not giving us what we are actually looking for, so you have to go to the 4-hour chart to determine what you can get out of this commodity currency pair or whatever I will call it. So when you come to the 4-hour chart, you can see that this is the most strongest level of support we have, because this is from the weekly. You can see that we are beginning to have what looks like negative positive divergence forming. It hasn't finished forming yet. We can't make that decision, but usually when you see a positive situation, positive divergence situations forming along a level of strong support, usually you are going to get a wave bottom situation, so you might want to watch out for that. Okay, so now that you've determined this from the dollar index, you can now begin to look at your pairs. So you can follow it in a chronological order, all right, if you have them arranged alphabetically, or you can just go to the pair that you want to analyze. But by analyzing the dollar index like this, you have a very good idea of what the majors are doing. So let's quickly look at the USD CHF now. And because we've already analyzed the dollar, I'm not going to look at the USD CHF from the monthly again. Okay, I'll just look at it from the weekly time frame. Okay, so this is the weekly time frame, and let me just quickly go to the this is the weekly time frame. So I'm just going to mark this. Seems to be the strongest levels of support and resistance right now. Okay, so the price is still hovering in this region, and you can see there's so much indecision here. Very strong level of support and resistance. So right now we can't determine anything from the weekly chart. You go to the weekly, the daily now, and you can see that the market is constricting. So personally speaking, I don't think that you should be thinking of trading the USD CHF right now until we break out of this triangle, because definitely we have a triangle here. Okay, you can see it beautifully forming here. So there's bound to be a breakout one of these days, up or down. All right, so right now we are in this constricting triangle. Going to the 4-hour chart, the only thing you can get out of here are just short-term trades, and you have to be very good at them. But right now we don't have a discernible trend. This is more or less a ranging or a sideways market, so you do well to stay out of situations like this, except you are a scalper or you are just looking for trouble and you feel like wasting your money. So this particular currency pair is a no right now. Okay, so let's switch to another. Let's have a look at GBP USD quickly. So I'm going to start from the weekly, because we've analyzed the dollar index already. And from the weekly chart, you can see here we are bouncing off of this level here. So we are going to mark that level as a level of support. So coming here, this is let's mark here. Okay, it's pretty wide for us now, but let's just mark there. So let's go to the daily chart, and you can see here what is going on here. We are bouncing off of this level of support, and we seem to have a wave bottom forming, but we are still at an area of resistance here again, so we are going to have to be careful about that. So going to the 4-hour chart now, what do we see? So for now, it looks like as if the GBP USD has given us a beautiful wave bottom here. So this most likely might continue upward toward this region. All right, but you can't know that for sure for now. So going down to the 1-hour chart, if you wanted to trade this pair, you will wait for a good opportunity here. So if we get a wave bottom situation here and the market begins to turn up, okay, because we're at a level of support, then you can think of buying and possibly taking this area as your first level of target to take your profit, which is still not bad, about 100 pips there. So I'm not going to go through the other pairs again. I just wanted to show you how you can locate trades even if you are not using the MT4 platform, even if you are not using your laptop. If you are using your phone or a tablet, you can use this process I just showed you. Analyze the dollar index if you have it, and even if you do not have it, any pair that you decide on, analyze from the monthly to the weekly. Draw your support and resistance lines on the weekly chart based on where you see price, and then go to the daily time frame and begin to make your decisions on whether you are going to think of buying or selling from there. Then from the 4-hour chart and from the 1-hour chart, you can begin to look for patterns that you recognize. So you are looking for wave bottom situations, you are looking for negative or positive divergence situations, and this is how I locate trades for myself. So I hope that this video is beneficial to you guys out there. Please watch it over and over again and practice. And then as you keep practicing, you are going to begin to see these things much more clearer for yourself, and you are going to start making more money, and you are going to be happy. So profitable trading to everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is David signing off.